insufficient to address the alarming mental health issue. Whereas, there is no special institutionalized office in BU that can offer free and accessible psychotherapy services such as individual therapy sessions, relapse prevention group therapy sessions, suicide prevention and post-prevention programs, training workshops, and personal well-being workshops that can address urgent and pressing mental health and psychosocial well-being needs of the BU community. Whereas the students and personnel in BU must have a common place and resources which is accessible and reliable when suffering from mental health conditions and needing psychosocial assistance. Whereas the BU administration must create a long-term initiative and institutionalize a mental health service for the academic community that requires significantly more funding and human resources to serve those in need of psychological support. Whereas providing mental health services is only a part of the solution to the university's mental health problem, as the cause of worry and grief is rooted in the systemic issues such as government incompetence, social environment, peer pressure, and other personal affairs. And these conditions that make students and faculty vulnerable to mental health remain generally unaddressed at an institutional level. Now, therefore, encouraging the general legislative members to redouble their efforts to recognize the universities and local communities' ongoing mental health crisis, to raise awareness of the problem's structural origins and find long-term remedies that address these underlying issues. Be it further resolved that the GLC must campaign for programs as well as advocate for the institutionalization of services and establishment of similar initiatives, highlighting the urgency that the BU administration must acknowledge the growing mental health crisis and the damage it has caused on the university stakeholders. Be it further resolved that the GLC will express solidarity with students who are dealing with mental health concerns by advocating for inclusive academic policies, particularly for online programs, and also condemns the state's injustices and systemic societal failures that are exacerbating the crisis. Be it further resolved that the GLC will call on the BU administration to condemn attacks on students and all other BU sectors, as this contributes to the conception of an unsafe environment that fuels mental health issues, to create a collaboration with the administration and the university stakeholders that will remain dependable in providing legitimate support and resources for the marginalized, and be it finally resolved that the GLC will continue to support campaigns designed to determine and address the root cause of mental health issues at a systemic level in order to find inclusive solutions that will significantly ease the burden faced by the BU students, faculty, and staff in striving for their productive aspirations as members of the academic community. Accomplished March 14, 2023 during Bicol University General Legislative Assembly by Zoom conference consultation. I move, therefore, Ms. Chair, I move for the adoption of Resolution number 005, series of 2022 on its first reading.
I second.
Are there any manifestation or objection? Having no objection, the motion to adopt this resolution for its first reading is hereby carried and approved by the general consent. Now, let's proceed to the second reading of this resolution. I now call again Mr. Godezano.
Ms. Chair, can I raise a motion to suspend the second reading of this resolution?
Yes, you may, and I also suggest for you to include in your motion to immediately proceed to the debate.
Modifying the motion, I raise the motion to suspend the second reading of this resolution and immediately proceed to the debate for this resolution.
Do we hear a second?
I second.
Are there any manifestations or objections? Hearing none, the motion to suspend the second reading of this resolution and immediately proceed to the debate is hereby carried and approved by general consent. Now we proceed to the debate proper. We will incorporate again the rules that we have followed from the first council meeting that we had from last Monday. So I will now call someone from the affirmative. You have 2 minutes to speak if you would want to raise any concerns, or kindly state if you are on the affirmative side or negative side. Thank you. Again, I would like to ask if there's anyone here who would like to speak in support of this resolution or in contrary to this resolution. If none will wish to be recognized, then I will call someone from the sponsor of this resolution to speak in support of this resolution. Again, anyone? So since no one here,
Madam Chair, may I be recognized?
yes, kindly state your name.
Ms. Larsa po, from Busang CS.
Thank you. Please proceed.
So as the chairperson of the Students' Rights and Welfare Committee, I support this resolution. And we all know that the pandemic, COVID-19, has presented many challenges to us students especially. And we have been vulnerable to changes, coping with the mental health conditions and the post-pandemic effects. So, and another is that we are learning about the impacts of this on us as students, and the physical distancing guidelines and isolation. It has adverse effects to our mental health, the peer pressure, the social and social media effects. So I firmly support this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Larse. Anyone who wishes to speak for the negative side, or if you do not support this resolution? Hearing none, are there any manifestation instead? Or anyone who wishes to speak in support again of this resolution? Or the chair would like to suggest that if you have a manifestation or any words to affirm to this resolution and support Mr. Godezano's proposal through this resolution, you may now speak. I will recognize you. Yes, Mr. Turanueva, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I believe that everyone on this assembly is in favor of this resolution. So for us to save time, I move that for us to close the debate and proceed immediately with the amendments.
Thank you, Mr. Turanueva. There is a motion to suspend this debate and immediately proceed to the amendments. Do we hear a second?
I second the motion.
Are there any manifestation, clarification, or objection? Hearing none, the motion to suspend the debate and immediately proceed to the amendments is hereby carried and approved. Now we proceed to the amendments. Thank you, Madam Technical. Now please proceed to scroll up. Okay, let me read to you the title. A resolution urging the Bicol University Administration to establish and institutionalize a psychosocial support service and similar mental health initiatives across the BU system to provide a safe space for mental health in the university. Do we have or do you have any proposed amendments for the title of this resolution? Anyone who wishes to speak? Hearing none, we proceed to the first clause. Whereas, since the beginning of the pandemic, there is a sweeping hysteria and panic among citizens as the government's failure to handle the situation causes distress that eventually translates to the worsening condition of mental health in the country. Are there any amendments that you would like to propose for this clause? Again, second call to the members who wishes to speak. Last call for the first clause. Okay, hearing none, let's move on to the second clause. Whereas, amid the calls for academic ease during the pandemic and even before, sorry for that, and even before the lockdowns, mental health in BU has remained to be a challenging and alarming issue as students experience personal worry and isolation while studying online as the COVID-19 situation stays unpredictable. Do we have any amendments here? Yes, you are recognized.
For the second clause, I move to change BU to Bicol University.
Thank you so much for that. Are there any other amendments? Last call for the second clause. Are there any other amendments that you wish to propose? Hearing none, we proceed to the third clause. Whereas, amid the existence of mental health law in 2018 that provisions access to mental health services across the country, there is no proper implementation and we can still see systemic initiatives. Do we have any recommendations for amendments on this clause? Mag-ano ka? Sorry, I was unmuted. Wait lang. Okay, Miss Larsa, you are now recognized.
So I have a manifestation to include the specific law, Republic Act, or the Mental Health Act.
Again, Miss Larsa.
I have a manifestation to include the specific Republic Act, or the mental health law stated there.
Thank you so much for that. Would you like to put that into a motion?
Suggestion.
Since it's a suggestion from Ms. Larce, I would like to ask for the author if you have a response regarding this concern from Ms. Larce.
Hello, may I be recognized? Oh yeah, sure. We can post the Republic Act number, but I think I put it like just mental health by 2018 for it to be much understandable. But we can also put it, it's Republic Act number 11036. So I think we can put like amid the existence of Republic Act number 11036, also known as the Mental Health Law, Republic Act number 11036.
Thank you so much, Mix Gudezano. Now, since there are manifestation from both of the parties, can I hear someone or may I request for someone to please raise it into a motion to include another clause containing the law provisions in support of this resolution? Ms. Larce, would you like to please raise it into a motion and just type your proposed amendments here in this chat accordingly to also what the authors, how the authors would want, or Mr. Godizano, how he would want to include it here in this resolution.
Thank you. So I move to add Republic Act number 11036 right after the phrase existence of. So I will type on the chat box now.
Just to be clear, Ms. Larson, this clause, or I mean, just to clarify, this will be added for a new clause, right? So you are referring to putting it after this clause about for the first paragraph, I mean the existence of mental health law. Is that correct? Following this
I,
clause.
what I mean is to put the Republic Act, the word Republic Act number 11036 right after the phrase existence of.
Okay. Thank you. Now, are there any other amendments for this clause? Last call for the amendments for this clause. Yes,
Madam
Mr.
Chair, I raise. Godizano
Yes,
po.
Mr. Godizano, you're recognized.
I raised the motion to add the word also known as mental health law in 2000 after the Republic Act number 11036.
Thank you for that. Now I recognize Mr. Bernal.
The mental as the. Thank you.
Sorry for the delay. I move that we change, we can still, we paraphrase, we rephrase, let's switch the two words can't and still, so that we will have still can't see.
Thank you for that, Mr. Bernal. Are there any other amendments for this clause?
Madam Chair, I raise the motion to put
Okay,
mental
hearing
health.
none, we now proceed to the next
Madam
clause.
Chair, may I be recognized?
Sorry, my speaker was muted.
Yeah. Madam Chair, I raise the motion to add mental health law in capital word, and instead of in it should be off because there is already a Republic Act prior to the mental health, like it should be law of 2008. Thank you.
That is noted. Thank you. Now we proceed to the next clause. Whereas the current existence of counseling services offered by the University Guidance Office is not enough to cater the overwhelming and often undetected cases of mental health issues in the university, as these services are limited and lacking to meet the demanding needs of resources for psychotherapy services that are more specific and targeted to address university's alarming mental health problems. Are there any amendments as to this clause? Last call for the amendments for this clause. Okay, hearing none, we now proceed to the next. Whereas the absence of guidance counselors assigned per college and the current centralized office that caters to different colleges and sectors resulted in a low counselor to student ratio, and the university further affects the quality of service offered by the guidance office. Are there any amendments for this particular clause? Again, are there any amendments for this specific clause? Hearing none, we now proceed to the next. Whereas, amid the initiatives and collaboration of college, student councils, university student councils, and other student organizations in the university, it still can't suffice the growing need for further intervention and medical-related approach to the students. Are there any amendments? Okay, while waiting, the chair suggests to capitalize the C in the word college and S in the word student and actually I withdraw that. That's correct.
Madam Chair, may I be recognized?
Yes, you're recognized.
On the clause 3, can we put the before the republic?
Now we kindly go back to the third clause, Madam Technical Committee.
I raise the motion to put the word the before the word republic. Thank
That
you
is
so much.
noted, Mr. Godazano. Thank you. Now we go back to the present clause we are discussing about. Ano nga yung sa proper pronoun, di ba?